Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Math Help with Miss McCarthy. These episodes are actually powered by you. That's right, teachers and parents of 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders who have come across a math problem that's kind of making you go, what? That's right, I've created these episodes just for you to be able to submit those math questions that you have. You can do that by going to mccarthymathacademy.com/mathhelp. That link should be somewhere around this video. And here you'll also see where you can access the growing playlist of videos that I have for Math Help with Miss McCarthy. We're about to break down today's problem, and after we do, I'm going to take you into the members area where I can show you where you can have access to even more video lessons and student guides. Now the cool thing is, if you go to mccarthymathacademy.com/mathhelp and submit your question and it's chosen in a future episode, you will receive a complimentary 7-day access to either the Gold Plan for Teachers or one of the family memberships. Let's go ahead and get to today's problem and let me teach you. Today's problem comes from Angela in Miami. This is a 3rd grade problem, and it says to match each quadrilateral with its attributes. Right away, I'm seeing the key term quadrilateral. And this term quadrilateral immediately makes me think of one of my geometry songs based on quadrilaterals. So in the song, there's a lyric that says, "First up, Mr. Quad must be a 4-sided polygon to get in his club," which gives you the definition of what a quadrilateral is in a funny way, lyrically at least, and that is that a quadrilateral is a 4-sided polygon. So we're going to match each one of these quadrilaterals with its attributes. These are, another word for attributes might be its characteristics or its traits, okay? The details that make it a quadrilateral or the type of quadrilateral that we're seeing. So all of these right here are quadrilaterals. We have a square, a parallelogram, a trapezoid, and a rhombus. And this is a matching item type of question that students could encounter on the FAST math assessment. So what we're going to have to do is match each one of the quadrilaterals with the attributes, just like the directions say. So let's first take a look at the square. Okay, looking at the square. All right, what do we know about a square? Well, let me go ahead and draw a square right over here. Let me move myself out of the way just a little bit. Now, there are some things that you need to know about a square, and that is that a square has 4 equal sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. These sides are all equal. Another fancy word that students may see is the word congruent. Something that is also special about a square is that it has to have 4 right angles. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the attributes that are given. The first column says that all sides are equal in length. That is always true about a square, so we can mark that one. The next column says that a square always has 2 sets of parallel sides. Parallel sides, they are sides that never ever cross. Call them parallel sides because they never ever cross. So 2 sets, so that means we have this set right here. This is side number 1, and that is true because we have this side right here is always parallel to this side. The bottom and the top are always parallel, and the side and side are always parallel. Therefore, this statement is always true, and we can mark it correct. Okay, the next column says that a square always contains at least 1 right angle. That is true. It actually always contains 4 right angles, which falls into the description of at least 1. So we can mark that right. And remember, right angles are square corners. They're exactly 90 degrees. And the last column says that a square is always a 4-sided polygon. Does a square always have 4 sides? Yes. Got another song that breaks down different polygons there. The characteristics of a polygon are that it's gotta be closed, gotta be straight lines, 3 or more sides of flat plane shape, and a square is all of those things. So yes, it is a polygon. All right, done with square. Let's move on to a parallelogram. Okay, I'm going to draw what a typical parallelogram looks like, but it could look a little bit different, okay? I'm at least going to draw it with all the attributes that it has. So a parallelogram has the word parallel in it, and that means it must have 2 pairs of parallel sides. Are all sides equal in length? No, a parallelogram does not have to have all sides equal in length. These 2 sides are equal and these two sides are equal, but all four sides do not have to be. They sometimes could be, but they do, my microphone, but they do not have to be equal in length. So no, we're going to skip that one. The next column says always has two sets of parallel sides. That is exactly what a parallelogram is. We have this side and this side are parallel to each other. They never ever cross. And this side and this side are parallel to each other. They never ever cross. They call them parallel sides because they never ever cross. They'll go on and on forever in both directions. We can mark that one. Parallelogram always contains at least one right angle. A parallelogram could contain a right angle if it were a rectangle, because a rectangle is a type of parallelogram. A square is also a type of parallelogram, but a parallelogram does not have to have one right angle, so this attribute does not apply. And finally, it says always a four-sided polygon. It's closed, gotta be straight, three or more sides of flat plane shape. Yes. All right, moving on to trapezoid. When students see trapezoids, they usually look like this, or it could be, this would be another example right here, okay? And what makes a trapezoid is that it must have at least one set of parallel lines. At least one set of parallel lines. Okay, so are all the sides equal in length? No, a trapezoid does not have to have all sides equal in length. Does a trapezoid always have two sets of parallel sides? It could have two sets, but it doesn't always have two sets of parallel lines. For instance, the two that we just drew, this side is parallel to this side, but the other two sides are not parallel to each other because they would end up crossing. If we kept on going with these, eventually they would cross. Sometimes we see a trapezoid that looks like this, and as you can see again, it has to have at least one set of parallel lines, but the other set would eventually cross if it kept on going. So a trapezoid does not always have two sets of parallel sides. So we can skip that one. Does a trapezoid always contain at least one right angle? It could, but it doesn't have to. So we can move on, and it is a four-sided polygon. Gotta be closed, gotta be straight, three or more sides, it has four, and a flat plane shape, yes. So the only one that applies here is the last column. Pause here for a second because there are actually two definitions of trapezoids floating around. There's an inclusive definition and an exclusive definition. This is the editing Miss McCarthy here, and I just wanted to let you know that Florida has adopted the inclusive definition, which states that a quadrilateral with at least one pair of parallel sides is considered a trapezoid. So this does include parallelograms, rectangles, squares, and rhombuses are all considered trapezoids. Now, some schools or states may use the exclusive definition, so definitely check with your child's teacher or with your state to see which definition you should be studying. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the last one, which is a rhombus. Relevant attribute of a rhombus is that it has to have four equal sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? It does not have to have four equal angles, but it needs to have four equal sides. So for a rhombus, are all the sides equal in length? Yes, they are. Does it always have two sets of parallel lines? It sure does. The bottom and the top will never ever cross. The side and the side will never ever cross, so we can mark that one. Always contains at least one right angle. A rhombus could be a square, so it could contain a right angle. However, it does not have to. So we cannot mark this one because it uses the word always, and a rhombus does not always have a right angle. For instance, the rhombus I just drew has a mix of obtuse and acute angles. And is it always a four-sided polygon? It is. Gotta be closed, gotta be straight, three or more sides, a flat plane shape. It hits all of that. So we can go ahead and mark that one there. Angela, thank you so much for providing us with our math help problem for today. We're about to take a peek inside of the Taking on the Best membership. Now it's called the Taking on the Best membership because in Florida, we teach the best benchmarks to students, the best standards. Those best standards are assessed on the FAST math assessment. So I have a lot of parents sometimes emailing me like, I need help with the FAST. And I'm like, okay, well, the best standards are what are assessed on the FAST test. So this is a FAST test style problem, but it's targeting a specific BEST benchmark that we're going to take a look at. You'll see above there are 2 websites that you can go to. If you're a teacher, go to the one that says /teacher. If you're a parent, go to the one that says /family. That's going to help you out because of the way that the content is organized. After you've signed up for your plan, you're going to go ahead and click right here at members, enter here, and you'll see that there are different memberships that you can enter into. So teachers, you would click on this one. Families, you would click on this one, depending on what you signed up for. For teachers, there's a bronze, silver, and gold tier. The silver and the gold tier obviously give you more access to even more resources, but what I show you today will be part of the bronze plan, which is very similar to what you'll see in the family unit. So let's click on that, and we are working on a 3rd grade problem. This was a geometry benchmark, and it was geared towards this one right here, quadrilaterals. Okay, so when we open this up, right away we open up to the bronze resources, and families, you'll kind of see the same layout all under a geometry unit. So these are the video lessons right here. And then you've got printable student guides right here, the same guide that we're using in the video. So your students can follow along with me. Let's go ahead and see how many videos we have for this benchmark. We have identifying quadrilaterals. We have a video with quadrilaterals with 1 or 2 pairs of parallel lines, and quadrilaterals with equal sides and equal angles. So 3 different videos. Also right here is the geometry quadrilateral music video that I was talking about. And I did put this little one right here. This music video illustrates the exclusive definition of the trapezoid, stating that it has exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. Florida's BEST standards define a trapezoid as a quadrilateral with at least 1 pair of parallel sides, which is the inclusive definition. Please have a conversation with your students or with your children at home about the trapezoid and adopt the inclusive definition that it has to have at least 1 pair. When you continue scrolling down, you go into the silver and the gold. We're not going to go into that today, but we're just going to go through the video lessons here. All right, so you can see right here, it says draw 5 quadrilaterals. So in the video, we're going to draw the 5 quadrilaterals and talk about it and what it means to be a quadrilateral. In the next video, it's quadrilaterals with 1 or 2 pairs of parallel lines. So if I pop into this video, we can see the different types of parallelograms that we have. This is a parallelogram, this is a parallelogram, and this is a parallelogram because they have 2 sets of parallel sides. Even though the better name for it would be a rectangle and the better name for it would be a rhombus, they're all under the classification of parallelograms. And then if we go into this video, we have quadrilaterals with equal sides and angles. Then we're going into these types of questions right here where we're breaking down the quadrilaterals that have equal sides or equal angles. So you can see how we're just breaking it down, marking it up, drawing it all out to make sense of it. And this video right here, and definitely check out this Club Quad video. Being careful with that trapezoid definition right there, but Sassy Square is a fun character to have. The students really enjoy her, and she's sassy because she really takes on the attributes of all the quadrilaterals. So super fun. Take a listen to that. It's a fun one. And for the family membership, you can see that it's going to be right inside here in the geometry of 2-dimensional figures unit, and all the information that you need there will be under the quadrilateral section of this. Okay, same video, same printable guides. So teachers and parents, if you found this video to be helpful and you're like, wow, I could really use some more content just like this to help my students, I really encourage you to check out the memberships that are available. Teachers, I know one of the biggest struggles that we have is time, right? We have a scope and a sequence, and we only have so long to teach a unit before students have to test. This is a way to help to really support your students. That way you could be either showing this as a whole group lesson, you could pull a group and have your students working on this as a center because you can easily download these videos. Or when you get your data back, or you have certain students who just need some more support with a specific benchmark, this is awesome for you. And I created the family membership as an affordable alternative for tutoring. So again, check out that website above to get your next steps. Angela, thank you so much again for providing our problem today. I hope that you're enjoying your complimentary membership for 7 days of access. And for everyone else, I hope that this has helped you. If you found value in this episode, the best way that you can say thank you is to simply click that like button. That lets me know, it lets YouTube know that you enjoy content like this, and I can continue bringing more content to you you for free. And if you know a teacher or a parent who could use this video, feel free to share it with them. And of course, if you want to be the first to know when I drop a new episode, click that subscribe button so you'll be the first to know. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Math Help with Miss McCarthy, and I hope to see you in an episode or inside the members area real soon.